What's up again there, guys? Brian Hoodie, 3 Topics Gamer, and I just got done watching the PlayStation showcase that ended literally just 5 minutes ago. This was a pretty extensive reveal that they gave us, and they showed a lot of content in the span of about an hour and 15 minutes. And they announced just so many things. I just kind of want to do a quick rundown of everything that they showed off and just my initial thoughts. But overall, I think the whole showcase was okay. I didn't think it was great because they didn't really show anything that either wasn't rumored or was a major surprise, and they showed off some impressive looking games, but they didn't really show any game that I thought was like, that is an absolute must game that I didn't already know about, that I wasn't already going to get. And a lot of these games were coming out this year anyway, so there really wasn't too much that kind of blew my mind. I mean, some announcements I thought were fine with. They showed off some more stuff, things we already knew about, and then there was like one announcement that I was hoping wouldn't be true, but it ended up being true, and now I'm kind of concerned, a little bit annoyed, but I'll just do a quick rundown, just give my thoughts on everything that they revealed, showed, and just my overall thoughts. And if you do happen to enjoy this little video by the end, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Keep track of me on my future videos. And if you have any requests for future reviews, ranking videos, or just discussion videos, let me know in the comments down below, and I will try to get them up as soon as I can whenever I have free time. So, starting off, the very first thing that they showed us was a cinematic for a game called Fair's Game. It looked like some sort of Thief's game. They didn't show any gameplay. It was all just pure cinematics. I mean, okay, it's a Thief's game. Looks like you'll be working in teams of 3 trying to steal some sort of objective for some reasons. But that's all we got, so can't really have much of an opinion based off that. The next thing that they gave us was a game called Helldivers 2. Now I thought this was going to be like a Starship Troopers game, because pretty much it's a third-person shooter where you're playing as a soldier as part of a unit killing bugs. I really would have thought this would have been better if they just called it Starship Troopers whatever. And apparently this is a sequel to something else, because I've never actually heard of another game called Helldivers. So not sure if this is something I would give a try. It might be. I don't know. That's really all I have to say about it. Then they gave us this game called Immortal of Avium. Now this looked like a magic first-person shooter game. This reminded me a little bit of Ghostwire. The movement style reminds me a lot of Doom. So imagine Ghostwire Tokyo mixed with Doom, but with magic, which sounds cool. But that's really all they gave us. They did give us some solid gameplay, some enemies, a little bit about the story. It wasn't too much. This does look like something that I probably will give a try when it comes out eventually, but it's not too high on my list. Then they showed us a game called Ghost Runner 2. Again, they showed just a quick trailer, but I'd never heard of Ghost Runner, so I can't really say much about it. Then they showed us a game called Phantom Blade Zero. This was a hack and slash game. It looked pretty cool. This is definitely something I would like to give a try. Then another game called Sword of the Sea. I like the artistic style look of this game. I think some of it might have been gameplay. It did remind me of a few other artistically looking style games that I've played before. So this is something I might give a try. Then the next game they showed was something called The Talon's Principle 2. Again, a sequel to another game that I've never heard of before. Then another game called Neva that was done again in this artistic style. It was a pure cinematic about this wolf that was being killed by these shadow creatures, and it leaves this little girl and this little wolf type forest creature, and they're just embracing, and that's about it. So I don't know, they didn't really show too much. Then they showed us a game called Cat Quest. Don't look like a game I would ever play. Then there was this really weird game from Square Enix that was called Foam Stars. At first, I didn't know what to think. I was thinking like maybe this is some sort of parody of Fortnite mixed with some weird idea. This is weird and certainly not a game that I would even consider playing. Then another game called The Plucky Squire. Not interested. Another game that was called Teardown, which I thought was just something like an expansion version of Minecraft, because they look like Minecraft, and I've never played Minecraft, so another game I was going to skip. And then we got the announcement that I was dreading, but apparently they are going through with a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. They didn't call it 3, they called it Metal Gear Triangle. but it's 3. I'm not too happy about this. I know that a lot of people are excited, and if you are excited, that's perfectly fine. But you need to understand that I do not trust Konami with this franchise. Not since how they handled the whole Kojima leaving the company situation. I thought that was very distasteful, and I've always had just a bad opinion about Konami with Metal Gear. And especially the only project that they ever really have released outside of that was Metal Gear Survive, and that was a total disaster. Phantom Pain is a game that I refuse to acknowledge because how much they butchered that game to hell. And therefore, I just kind of wish at some point Konami would just give up the property and sell it to someone else and then have them do something, have their own take on it. But here it is, it's here, it's coming, and I'm kind of a little bit off about it because Metal Gear Solid 3 is not just my favorite Metal Gear game of all time, it's my favorite video game of all time. Period. There is not a single game in existence that I would pick over Metal Gear Solid 3. So the fact that they're remaking it kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable, especially with how the last number of my all-time favorite games got remade, and they didn't turn out too well for me. I didn't like any of them, and I just didn't want to see Metal Gear Solid 3 get the same treatment. Now, the only good thing that came from this announcement was that they revealed that they will be kind of re-releasing the first 3 Metal Gear games on PlayStation 5, and that's a good thing for me because the most advanced console that I've had a chance to play any of these games is on the PlayStation 3 with the Legacy Collection that came with all of the games that had been released up to that point. In fact, I actually think the Legacy Collection actually does come with every single Metal Gear Solid game outside of, I believe, Portable Ops. I believe that's the only one that didn't come on this package. But this is on the PlayStation 3. I had no way of playing them on the PlayStation 4, so now that I get a chance to play Metal Gear Solids 1, 2, and 3 on the PlayStation 5, that's the only good thing that came from this announcement. But heck, maybe when the game comes out, I'll give it a chance, but as of right now, I'm not too optimistic about it. Next thing that they showed us is a game that I didn't even really catch the name of, but it was called like the Tower of Something. Man, it looked okay, but again, not too pumped up for it. Then they gave us another trailer for Final Fantasy 16. This is a game I've already pre-ordered. I'm already excited for it. I didn't need them to reveal another trailer for it. I'm already gonna get it. I've already got my copy pre-ordered. I'm definitely getting like a deluxe edition for it, so they didn't need to do that, but I thought it was okay. Then they showed us another trailer for Alan Wake 2, and they gave us a release date, and they actually showed some gameplay footage and a little bit about the story or the concept of the direction that they're taking this franchise, so that's another game that I definitely will be giving a try. Then they showed us another trailer for Assassin's Creed Mirage. This is another game that I already plan on playing later this year, and it looks like they're definitely going back to a kind of older style of gameplay. Preferably, it looks like around, I'd say, between Assassin's Creed's 2 to say 4, which I think is cool. I don't mind going back to that style. That some people think that was like the strongest era of Assassin's Creed games, and I do happen to agree. So the fact that we are going back to that, I'm perfectly fine and happy with. Then they gave us another game called Revenant Hill. Don't really have too much to say about that. Then another game called Gale Blue something. I didn't really catch the rest of that name, but it looked okay. Then they showed us another trailer for Street Fighter 6. I'm a Mortal Kombat person, so I had no interest. Another game called Ultros, which also had a unique artistic style. Might give that a chance when it comes out. Then they showed another game called Tower of Fantasy. Looked okay. Then another game called Dragon's Dogma 2. I've never even played the first Dragons of Dogma, so I'm not even sure if this is a game I would be interested into. Then they showed us some PlayStation VR 2 games. I have never been a fan of PlayStation VR in general, so they just showed us a trailer for Resident Evil 4 Remake. I didn't even want to play the remake, so I don't care about a VR version. Then another game called Arizona Sunshine 2, which is a zombie game. Crossfire Sierra Squad, Synopsis, and then Beat Saber is coming. I already have Beat Saber on my Oculus, so I don't need to play it on any other VR devices. Then we had a couple of announcements from Bungie. They announced a new game called Marathon. They didn't really show too much outside of a cinematic, so I don't really have much to say. But apparently they're also adding another expansion to Destiny 2. I'm shocked that people are still playing Destiny 2 after all these years. I really thought when they showed the cinematic on PlayStation 5, I thought they were going to announce Destiny 3, and then that would have given me a reason to kind of be a little bit more interested in the Destiny franchise again, since I haven't played it in so many years. Then they showed a cinematic for a game called Concord. It looked okay, but not too much to say about it. Then they showed a little trailer for the upcoming Gran Turismo movie, which I only recently discovered that they were even doing a Gran Turismo movie like a couple weeks ago. That was a surprise to me. Not sure if it's something I would see since I'm not a big Gran Turismo fan myself. Then they showed off this little device, a portable screen device for PlayStation 5. It pretty much was just a flat screen with kind of combined with two halves of a PlayStation 5 control that apparently will allow you to play PlayStation 5 games wirelessly. So I don't think this is a completely new portable device similar to like the PlayStation Vita or the PSP, but I think it's just a way for us to play PlayStation 5 games a little bit on the go. Not sure if that's something that I would be interested in getting. But will admit I have been having some fun playing on my Switch, so maybe this is something I might give a try if it works well. Then they announced they would also be releasing some PlayStation 5 earbuds, probably to go with this new wireless device. I didn't catch what the wireless device was going to be called, but I'm assuming that these earbuds would go for that. And then the last thing they announced was a brand new trailer for the upcoming Spider-Man 2. And at first they showed off a little bit of Kraven, so apparently Kraven is going to be in this new game, and a lot of really new gameplay. And this allows you to play as both Miles and Peter, and apparently at this point, Kraven has been hunting Dr. Connors, who's turned to the reptile or the lizard, and he apparently now has access to the symbiote suit, which I was surprised about because we knew that Venom was going to be in this game, but I did not think that we would go through the process of Peter having the symbiote suit, and then he's going to eventually lose it, and then we'll have to deal with all these different guys. So the fact that we'll be fighting Kraven and Venom, and who knows who else we'll be fighting, so this definitely is going to be one of the best games, most anticipated games that I played this year because I enjoyed the first game so much. Then I have no doubt that the follow-up is going to knock it out of the park just as well. And that's pretty much everything they showed. They showed a lot of stuff. I just wish that they had announced something that was not rumored but would have been, a big surprise, and they didn't do that. But what they showed was good. There was definitely some games that I'm a little bit interested in, some games that I already knew about that I was already going to play, but overall, I thought this showcase was just fine, just not amazing. So those are my thoughts on the PlayStation Showcase. Share your thoughts. Were there any games that you saw that you're really excited for? Let me know in the comments down below. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will catch you all guys next time.